Well, how's everybody doing today? I think we're going to try to get a little bit of chopping done. Going to get going on second crop hay here, so yeah, we'll see what kind of trouble we get into today here, I guess. Check back after a while. Alright, well, guess we're going to get going on chopping here. And yeah, I don't know, they're saying rain, but hard to say. So the hay all raked up this morning that we had down, except for one piece we cut yesterday. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna pull everything out, and I did get that other 970 chopper box done, so see if that's gonna hold up for me. So yeah, we'll check back when we get going on stuff here. Well, it ain't looking good out there. We might get wet. Don't want to complain about any rain, though. So, it is what it is. Hoping to get all the second crop done before the 4th of July. It's always kind of rare we're not making hay on the 4th of July, but it's nice when you don't have to do that. So, we'll just keep trucking along until we can't, and see what the next day brings if we get rained out. So check back here when I get the bagger set up and start unloading some wagons. Well, I got the bagger set up. Kind of thought it was going to be a quick little shower and done, but yeah, not so much. So yeah, I guess I'm going to go home for dinner. I don't know if I'll be able to unload. We got Dad got about 2.5 loads on while I was getting everything set up. So yeah, if I'm lucky, I can get those unloaded. I don't know though; it might be too muddy. Not too concerned about pulling them to the bagger, but everything's kind of on a side hill up there, and don't want those wagons sliding down the hill into the bag below me. So I guess we'll see what happens. Alright, well, it got just barely dry enough I could get up here. Barely. Put the 986 on there so I got fluid in the tires. As long as the wagons don't slide down the hill on me. Yeah, she's, just for sitting today, she's steaming good. That stuff was kind of wet, so. Got this one, another one to get off, and then, now it's starting to drizzle rain again. I don't know why I went from, couldn't get no rain to now it won't quit for nothing. So I'll try to get these 2 wagons empty. I don't like having feed sit on the wagons, so see what happens here. It's supposed to be sunny tomorrow, so hopefully we can take the inverter and flip everything over tomorrow and get it dry. It sounds like we'll be chopping on the 4th of July, so we'll see what happens. And this is the 970 I put all the new boards under. I didn't get them oiled up yet. I better get on that. So be all rotten on me again. So yeah, it seems like everything's working good on it. Sticky mess up here. All right, well, it's the next day again. I think today Dad's gonna go rake that hillside. We had cut that down right before it rained, and I'm gonna take the inverter and we'll flip all this hay we had raked up over. And yeah, it's a nice sunny day today. It's supposed to be sunny tomorrow. Then they got rain again, so. And tomorrow's 4th of July, so ideal world we get this all chopped here this afternoon. I'd haul a bunch of manure on here before it rains, but I don't know if we'll quite get that dry enough. It'll probably actually, that hillside there that ain't raked, that'll probably chop before this will. That's pretty wet, so. Yeah, we're gonna get cows fed here and check back at some point. Alright, well, I got my inverter chute on the 166 here. We're getting pretty dry on top, but it is just nasty wet underneath, so hopefully we'll get this flipped over and get her dried out. And Dad's out on the hill raking. I went behind those trees now. Nonetheless, he's out there. Cool. I guess if I get everything flipped over, maybe I'll head out and start merging up on the hill there too and get this done, and we'll see if we can hopefully get some chopped yet today so we can get done halfway decent time tomorrow. We'll see what happens. just got done with their corn silage, heading for some shade trees. It's a warm one again today. Not quite as humid as it's been, but humid enough. The sun's really got some heat to her. Corn here's looking decent. There's the late planted corn, it's all up. These are one of those strips where hardly anything came up, but you know, a couple here and there. That's all up now. We got lucky, I think. Keep getting a decent year. Hopefully we'll get decent corn off it. Alright, well, he's getting there. I think that'll be good enough to chop. Still kind of wet in the middle, getting dry on top. Underneath was already dry, so. And inverter, that's a wonderful thing when you, especially you get hay rain done. And you can kind of see rain kind of beats that hay into the ground and it don't pick it up very good, but rakes don't pick it up that good either. That hydraulic rake does better than the ground driven rake because you can speed the basket up there and drive a little slower and seems to pick up pretty good, but yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, I think we'll get chopping on this and see if we can get something done before milking time. Alright, well, Dad started chopping here. I decided to use a 986 to haul in yet. It's just a little soft in places yet. No Comfort King ain't got none too much extra weight, so. Yeah, see if we can get a couple done before milking here, and I have him fill the rest of the wagons up, and at least now I got that other gehl going so we can get 5 loads on and unload them after chores, and hopefully the rest of that hillside will fit on the wagons in the morning. Get them done, and I don't know, I might be able to enjoy a little bit of the 4th. Hard to say. Let's see what happens. warming up a little. I guess I just got 2 loads I didn't have time to get at that Dad filled up, and we got everything on the back side of the farm chop that we had braked up and that got rained on, so I think everything else on the hill should fit on the wagons. And yeah, and hopefully I get a bunch of manure hauled, and then hopefully it'll rain, and then hopefully we'll cut the rest of the hay down and we'll be done with second crop. But it's a lot of hoping, so we'll see what happens. Alright, well, it's Independence Day. So happy Independence Day to everybody. Everything fit on the wagons on the hill here, so I just got 2 left to unload, and we'll have this much done anyways. Pretty decent moisture in this stuff. It's been awful humid though, but that sun had a lot of heat to her. Alright, well, it's the next day again. Dad's out cutting the rest of the hay there, and I just got done putting bedding in the free stalls here, so yeah, I guess while he's doing that, I'm going to start, I'm going to get the pump hooked up and put in the pit and see about getting some manure on these fields. A few of these fields that we had already, the early stuff that we cut on this second crop here, that's growing back too much. I don't think I can spread on that, but yeah, that stuff I hauled in off of yesterday, and then what he's cutting here today after we get that chopped off, we'll haul on that too. So yeah, we'll see what we get into here. Alright, well, we got that stirring a little bit. Well, the cows are enjoying their bedding. It's good and humid today. You can see there's a storm right to the south of us there. I'd take a little more rain, but I'm just happy with what we got. It's always nice to see that many cows laying down. Laying down, they're making milk. So, get this old girl fired up and get flinging some poo. Well, it's definitely a whole lot better than it was when I was emptying the pit this spring after being so dry. Couldn't hardly pump it. Pumping pretty good now. A little humidity and some rain helps a lot. Oh, the air was so dry there in the past 6-7 weeks there. Basically all the liquid from the manure just basically evaporated, and because all you could do to pump that, took a lot of it out in the skid loader, so not bad. Well, it really looked kind of nasty over that way. so pretty dry out now. I think the old Comfort King will be fine pulling wagons today, especially because I don't feel like taking the pump off the 986. So see what we get done today. Load here out of this 10-acre piece, and then we got about 10 acres for tomorrow. The other gehl wagon chain came off, the drive chain in there, caught something and snapped the yoke on the PTO shaft. So I was going to try to haul some manure yet before milking, but it looks like I'll be fixing a wagon. I was going to show it earlier, but I was too busy cussing at it, so I guess we'll get this one dumped off and show you the carnage on that. Alright, well, that's what's left of the U-joint. Yeah. Boogered her up pretty good. So I'm going to see if I can get this assembly off of here. And luckily I've got myself a couple of parts wagons, so hopefully this ain't too big of a job. Alright, well, we're back at her. Just got down there to do along there, and then on that hillside. Dad filled the wagons up this morning. So I still gotta get that other wagon fixed. That I couldn't figure out how that came apart. So I'll show you guys that when we get that far. So crazy corn. Starting to look like it wants to rain over there. Be alright too, hopefully it can hold off for another couple hours. Well, we're getting wet, but I think we might get done. Alright, well, we got done chopping. I'm getting wet. Dad took his 966 down to get that last load. I was having a little trouble pulling this one. Little Comfort King's kind of light, so yeah, he's going to pull that one up. That was way down at the bottom, so yeah, get these hopefully unloaded before it gets too greasy up here, and we'll check back after a while. Yep, good thing we didn't try to pull that wagon up with the Comfort King. Dad said this one was pawing pretty hard. There's no fluid in these tires either, but we got 2 sets of wheel weights on her. A little bigger anyways, but would have been nice to have this cab when I was unloading those other wagons. I am soaked. should be in good shape. Alright, well, it's the next day again. We only got just about a tenth of rain. You know, just enough to get me soaked. But yeah, so we're back at this again. I got the chopper box fixing that. That was a learning experience. I got a little bit to do to finish that up and then finish unloading that. But yeah, I get at that. I'll show you guys how that mess came apart, because I had no idea, and it was painfully simple how it came apart, but I couldn't figure it out. So so yeah, I'll show you that and check back after a while. Here, clean my windows. Alright, well, we got everything all swapped out here. So yeah, so what we ran into, this was actually really simple. Once we figured it out, we had to call a place and figure out how to take this thing apart, because yeah, I don't know, there was set screws and stuff in here on these gears and stuff, but nothing would make nothing move. And yeah, so what goes on, how well we can see that. I'm going to try to turn this shaft a little bit. Okay, so there is a cap right in the center here, and you know, when that's all full of grease and stuff, you just looks like the end of the shaft, and just couldn't figure out yeah, because this all rotates on that shaft in there. So yeah, it didn't look like anything came apart in here, but yeah, there is a little cap here that's got left-handed threads that screws into the shaft, and there is 4 little indents on there. I think you can kind of see those, 2 of them anyways. And you get in there with a punch and you turn that thing basically the opposite way of what you would go to loosen something. That comes off and this whole mess pulls out. Took about 2 minutes after about, you know, an hour and a half of dinking around trying to figure out how it come apart. So yeah, kind of felt like a bonehead after that. But yeah, if you didn't know that was set up like that, I don't know how the hell you figure it out. So anyways, so yeah, we're back together here. So I'm going to there's just a little bit of feed in here yet I'm going to clean out yet, and we'll get that bag off and probably wrap things up. Alright, well, we're out here after chores. I got just a couple loads of liquid left here. I'm going to try to get out yet tonight. Supposedly some rain coming, so hard to say. We'll see what happens. First time using the Magnum at night. They got about half the lights are LED, the other ones are regular yet, but seems pretty decent. Get the rest changed over at some point. Alright, well, we got about a half a load on here. Got all the liquid out. I can see pretty good out of the old girl. See the dry cows out there or not? Not really. Yeah, I think gets the rest of these lights changed over, and supposed to be a light on each side of the below the cab here. Neither one of those are working, so get those going and should be lit up pretty good. See all them bugs out there. I'm glad I ain't out there in an open station. this one good. I don't know, longer than I was expecting, so it's actually, oh, we're getting close to cutting third crop here. I've been running too much, getting behind, so yeah, guess we'll check back when we either cut third crop or something else interesting happens. So see how she goes. Thanks for watching. We'll catch everybody later.